Welcome to About Mansfield. It's your audio newspaper. I'm Steve Casillo, broadcasting from the Cellmark Studios, along with the About Mansfield news team. Colleen Daniel, she's way out there in Studio West. This is the September 10th, 2025, 288th edition. Coming up, it's Mansfield News, Talk, and Information.
And a little later in the episode, you will have a chance to win a $25 gift card to a Mansfield restaurant of your choice with our Mansfield Trivia Question, courtesy of Joe Jenkins Insurance.
Let's take a look at the stories we're covering this week.
Fields at Station 63 opens in Mansfield.
Investing in our community. We'll talk about it in a moment with the mayor.
DFW ranks second in U.S. for new apartment construction.
Community mural project seeks volunteers.
New playground equipment arrives at Rose Park.
And in sports, week 2 of Friday Night Lights, and North Texas SC wins in a shootout.
And in the talk segment, Steve talks in studio with North Texas SC General Manager Matt Denny. We are Mansfield's only source for news, talk, and information. This is About Mansfield.
Hey there, it's Luke from Cool Hand Electric. Are you tired of dealing with plugs or lights that just won't cooperate? Well, don't fret. Give us a call. Worried about power outages or surges damaging your precious electronics? We've got you covered. Whether it's a whole house generator or surge protection, our solution-oriented Cool Hands are ready to tailor the perfect option that suits your needs and budget. At Cool Hand Electric, excellence is still cool.
Cool Hand, Cool Hand, Cool Hand, where excellence is still cool.
Looking for a night out that's anything but ordinary? Step into Vault Seafood and Steakhouse, Mansfield's premier upscale dining experience. Savor perfectly aged steaks, fresh seafood, and handcrafted cocktails, all served in a stunning atmosphere. Want more? Enjoy private dining rooms and a cigar lounge for that extra touch of luxury. Vault delivers exceptional flavor in a one-of-a-kind atmosphere. Located at Matlock and Country Club, Vault Seafood and Steakhouse. Unforgettable nights. Unmatched taste.
Hi, I'm Amanda Rogers, managing editor of the Mansfield Record, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to About Mansfield. This portion of the news is brought to you by Vault Seafood and Steakhouse.
Mansfield's newly renovated Fields at Station 63 is now open, replacing the former Big League Dreams complex. Kemper Sports Chief Operations Officer Jeremy Goldblatt says the project reflects Mansfield's growth.
Yeah, I think it's really a story that's similar to the story of Mansfield, just the investment and the growth in the community and the focus on youth. This was always a great asset that kind of fell on hard times, and it was really focused, I think, more on adult softball. And I think we saw, and the city saw, the opportunity to really reimagine this, focused on youth sports, softball, baseball, kids, and it just fell into place and really requires a lot of investment, a lot of hard work. But as you can see today, there are kids already here practicing, so it's not hard to imagine that vision is really kind of made sense, and we're really excited about the future.
Goldblatt says visitors to the fields will notice the major upgrades.
The fields obviously are brand new, state-of-the-art turf. Before it was a turf infield, which had been in disrepair and frankly a little bit dangerous potentially, and then a grass outfield, which you had drainage issue and bumps, and so this is no excuses on bad hops out here. So 8 beautiful facilities. The dugouts are brand new and clean, and the spectator seating has been renovated. The restaurant and bar is a whole new experience with food and beverage offerings. And then we have a state-of-the-art performance center and field house here, which we can do lessons in. So it's really, while the framework of this is almost like a house that you took down to its studs and brought back.
Kemper Sports Senior Vice President Steve Goris adds that hospitality is a top priority.
We are focused on hospitality. We're a hospitality management company. So we want people to come in and have the same experience they would at any one of our resorts or golf clubs, where they're welcome, they feel warm, they're invited, and they want to continue to come back.
The project is a public-private partnership between the City of Mansfield, Kemper Sports, and Rev Entertainment. Goris explains how it all came together.
Kemper and the city put money, capital into the park in order to do all the improvements you see today. Rev is our entertainment partner within. They work with the city and us to help us with different things, right? So we're trying to do some different events, community events, some concerts, things like that, which is really kind of their stronghold. The three of us work really closely together in getting the park up and running and then ongoing to continue to program it as well.
The Fields at Station 63 is now open and is located at 500 Heritage Parkway.
The Mansfield City Council held a regularly scheduled meeting on Monday evening. The following opinions of Michael Evans may not necessarily reflect those of the Mansfield City Council. We usually say top of the morning, but we record this every Tuesday.
Yes.
It's almost lunchtime.
It is almost lunchtime, but I spent the early morning with a group of about 250 dads at MISD's Jim Vashaska's Center for Performing Arts, and it was a great meeting, attempting to encourage dads to get involved in the lives of our students and mentoring programs and dads reads and all that stuff. So thank you for bending just a little bit, letting me come in.
So let's
later.
say top of the afternoon.
Top of the afternoon. We'll do that. And the weather's beautiful out. So,
oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Let's go back a couple of days. Outstanding grand opening of the Fields at Station 63.
You know what? I can't say enough about that. I mean, you look at the refurbished Fields, the two restaurants, and just how they have been built out. You think about what it was prior to that, and I hope people can now see the investment that was made in those fields. And I can say this, when I threw out the pitch, I did not bounce the ball. Thumbs up to the Parks Department and our new partners out there who we're working with.
It's called Investing in Our Community, which I believe is the first item on the council.
And it is, and that's what we've been attempting to do. Listen, we started the day, actually, when you talk about investing in the community, we did that recognizing our parks and recreation brand reps. These were teenagers. They champion our parks and champion the work that they do. They use their social media savvy to show their peers the joy, the wonder, and exceptional experience at our Mansfield Park. So we started investing in the kids first, and then we went to the budget. So listen, your city council, our city council, has adopted the fiscal year 2026 budget. It is finally done. This budget includes more police officer positions we're proud of, also firefighters and all that good stuff as well. More than $8 million in capital equipment, including new fire engine and $218 million in capital infrastructure improvements. That includes street construction, water, sewer, all of that. And best of all, we were able to do all of that while lowering the tax rate to 0.6390 cents per $100 of valuation. So again, this continues to be, Steve, one of the lowest tax rates in Mansfield's recent history, and we're proud of that.
Say that again. You lowered the tax rate.
Yes, sir. Our team, they did it with all of those expenditures and all those things that I just highlighted. We lowered the tax rate. Once again, it is still the lowest that it's been in over 30 years. And thank you to my council colleagues, to the staff, for listening to our residents, because we know we all want lower taxes, and we're doing the very best we can. But at the same time, we took care of our police and our fire and our staff members who helped to keep us going.
So while you were out there lowering the tax rate, you also spent some money.
We sure did. Yeah, we did. That's why having a diverse economy is important here in Mansfield.
That's right.
So let's
City
talk
Hall.
about that money. Oh, yeah. We approved a $38 million construction contract for the vertical construction of City Hall. We've been moving dirt, but this is actually the third construction contract for City Hall. Remember, the first two contracts included site work and long lead items, which we executed earlier in the project's timeline. We did that to reduce the overall project cost. So again, we're spending money, but we're saving money, and we're also investing. So as our community continues to grow, it's important that we have a good civic facility to continue providing noteworthy essentials and remarkable experiences. So proud of that.
And even more money, the water treatment expansion.
Yeah, well, again, the city's growing, and one thing we need to have in Mansfield is good water. So City Council approved $2.5 million for the Bud Irving water treatment plant for that expansion. And again, just as Mansfield grows, and it is, we've got to be proactive to ensure that we have adequate capabilities to manage our water supply and service.
I hear a lot of comments around town, whether it's regarding the Stabled Entertainment District or the Mansfield Stadium.
Right.
Are these roads going to be able to handle the cars? And I think we have an answer to that.
You do have an answer to that, and the answer is no, as it sits right now. So we approved a contract worth more than $22 million for the construction, surveying, and other associated costs with the development of Heritage Parkway South in the Stabled Street Entertainment District. So, again, we understand the importance of investing in the roadways so that it will be even easier to have remarkable experiences once our entertainment hub opens up. Because I tell you what, opening up the fields at Station 63 is just the beginning of really the growing face of Mansfield, Texas.
Sure. 7 consent agenda items. Did you spend any money there?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So City Council approved 7 consent agenda items, including a professional services contract worth $153,000 for costs related to the construction of, here we go again, of Helen Station Drive, along with Union Street and Citizens Way, again, which will be part of the Stabled Street Entertainment District. So we're trying to get those streets and infrastructure ready. So, yeah, we did that.
There you go.
We did that.
Hey, let's talk about downtown. We love Main Street.
Yeah. So here's the deal. You know, we know that development is coming to downtown. We know that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You see the fencing that's at Broad and South Main. So all of that's getting ready to take place. We need to make sure, speaking of streets, we need to make sure that we have good streets in the downtown area and that they are maneuverable. So what we did was we took a field trip out to the back of the building and we traced out what the streets of downtown would look like so that we could actually get our eyes on it. What we want to do in downtown is if we're bringing restaurants and those kind of experiences down there, we need to widen the sidewalk. Mm-hmm. Not only that, but we want to have front patio space. So,
nice.
Yeah. So we looked at what that would look like, but we also noted that we're going to need at least a left turning lane, things like that, so that the traffic can flow. But we don't want the traffic to flow as fast as it's flowing now. So we went to work on that, looking at traffic patterns and all that. And folks, it is coming, and you're going to see more pictures in the future as to what Main Street in downtown Mansfield is going to look like, because, Steve, we really are committed to making it a destination place like Granbury, Grapevine. I mean, let me tell you something. We've got high hopes for what downtown Mansfield is going to look like in the coming years. And we're excited about it.
There you go.
Can't you tell?
I can tell. Concluding the evening.
Yes.
With the 89th legislative session.
Yes, sir, we did. We had somewhat of an overview as to how the legislation from the 89th session is going to affect our local municipalities, things of that nature. So, I would just ask that our audience will just check it out. Go to www.mansfieldtexas.gov. And they can hear more about the legislative session and how that went, along with more things that took place during our regularly scheduled meeting. And we'll be doing it again in a couple of weeks, sir.
Yeah, and you'll do it right here.
I appreciate you. I do want to throw in one thing. Next Monday night, we're going to conduct a joint meeting with our fabulous school board. So the city council, school board, we're going to be meeting together and talking about those issues that involve the two of us as we move our community forward. And we're doing it in good taste, hand in hand with some good folks. I tell you this, though.
Yeah.
I do need to do a shout out to Dr. Kimberly Cantu, who has been an outstanding outstanding superintendent. You think about all of that this lady has navigated in her leadership. And let me tell you something. As the mayor of the city of Mansfield, Texas, I couldn't have asked for a better partner to work with than Miss Kimberly Cantu. She is number one, and she will really be missed, sir.
She will be missed. February of 2026.
Wow.
Yeah. That is called A Moment with the Mayor. Michael Evans, we will see you in 2 weeks. Go forth
and prosper.
Dallas-Fort Worth continues to be a national leader in apartment construction, according to a new Rent Cafe report. The Metroplex ranks second in the U.S. for new apartment units in 2025, with nearly 29,000 apartments under development. Only New York City is building more. The study examined construction data in 369 metro areas for complexes with at least 50 units. Nationwide, more than 500,000 apartments are expected this year, with over half being built in the South. Texas metros leading the way include Dallas-Fort Worth, Austin, and Houston. Within North Texas, Dallas tops the list of 17 cities with nearly 5,800 new units, followed by Fort Worth with about 3,800. However, the report also notes that overall, construction in DFW is down 22% from 2024. Incidentally, one city not on the list? Mansfield, Texas.
Organizers are calling for volunteers to help create a large public mural in downtown Mansfield. The one-day event takes place Saturday, September 20th, near the corner of Smith and Elm. The 24-foot by 8-foot mural would be painted in sections between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. with shifts scheduled throughout the day. Community members can sign up to paint or assist behind the scenes. No prior experience is required, and lunch will be provided for volunteers that pre-register. The finished piece will become one of Mansfield's newest public art displays along the Walnut Creek Linear Trail. As of this recording, there are close to 36 available volunteer positions. To register to volunteer, visit our website, aboutmansfield.com, and click on the Links tab.
Catherine Rose Memorial Park is getting closer to unveiling its new playground. Crews from Landscape Structures and Whirlix are installing new equipment this week, including the Qantas Climber, preschool play areas, and several inclusive features designed for children of all ages. Future phases will add concrete surfacing, lighting, benches, landscaping, and a shade structure. Work remains on schedule, with the playground expected to debut later this year.
A recap of Friday Night Lights and what's ahead this week. We'll talk about it because sports is next.
Hungry for bold flavor and a good time? Head on over to El Primo's to enjoy sizzling fajitas and their signature blue margarita. Enjoy weekend live entertainment and let the kids run wild with an outdoor play area and arcade. Planning a party? Multiple private rooms are available, including the all-new Parrot's Nest to make your event a success. Food, fun, and flavor for the whole family at El Primo's. Visit elprimos.net and bring your appetite. Located at Matlock and Country Club. El Primo's, where the locals go.
In sports, it was a mixed bag for Mansfield ISD teams over the weekend with 3 wins and 2 losses. On Thursday, Denton Ryan beat Timberview 20-12. Friday night brought better results with some local squads. Legacy defeated Chisholm Trail 33-24. Lake Ridge took down Haltom 40-27, and Summit beat your Mansfield Tigers 34-14 in a lightning-delayed matchup. Lake Ridge and Legacy remain unbeaten at 2-0. Timberview, Summit, and Mansfield are all 1-1 heading into Week 3. Looking ahead to Friday, Lake Ridge hosts Richardson at Newsom Stadium for senior night. Timberview travels to Argyle. Legacy meets South Grand Prairie at the Gopher Bowl, while your Mansfield Tigers take on Martin in Arlington. Summit has a bye. All games kick off at 7 p.m. Taking a look at football around the state, the highest scoring game was Edinburgh Economides over Brownsville Porter, 78-21. The lowest scoring game saw Katy Seven Lakes edge Richmond Foster, 7-0. And the biggest goose egg in the state for week number 2, Stinnett West Texas shut out Shamrock, 76-0. Regular listeners to this podcast over the past couple of years may recognize the name Hope Gaudio, local softball phenom who plays for the Legacy Broncos. Now get this, Gaudio who goes by the name of Lily, led the 2025 Lady Broncos in batting average, on-base percentage, hits, triples, home runs, stolen bases, runs scored, RBIs, and slugging percentage, all while maintaining a 4.5 grade point average. Lily Gaudio reached out to About Mansfield this week to announce that she is committed to attend Louisiana State University in the fall. The LSU Tigers finished the 25 season with a record of 42-16 and are ranked 19th in the country. Gaudio will be an in-studio guest on About Mansfield in an upcoming episode. North Texas SC fought Ventura County FC to a 1-1 draw Saturday night up there in Arlington, then came away with the extra point win by a penalty shootout, 5-4. Midfielder Aaron Easel scored the equalizer in stoppage time, a goal that head coach John Gall thought was well-deserved.
Sometimes as a team that things happen for you, but I think that ultimately the way that we competed, the way we fought in the second half, I think we deserved the equalizer, and then just really proud of the guys for getting that extra point and getting us an extra point closer to the playoffs.
The match also marked the professional debut of forward Sam Sadeh, an FC Dallas Academy product who entered in the 62nd minute.
Sammy is a talented kid. You know, he had an opportunity tonight to get in the game, to come on and help the team. And he made some good things happen. He had a shot at the edge of the box that, got deflected out for a corner kick. He had a couple of dribbles that worked out, and then he had a couple of dribbles that didn't work out. So this is the very nature of young people. But we want to try and expedite his development as quickly as we possibly can.
With the result, North Texas is now 4-1 in extra point shootouts this season. Watch North Texas SC take on Sporting Kansas City 2 at Choctaw Stadium on Saturday at 7:30 p.m. And of course, you can see all of the North Texas soccer action right here in Mansfield beginning in the 2026 season. And that, my friends, is a look at sports. If you have a comment about the show, the news, whatever's on your mind locally, the good, the bad, the ugly, doesn't matter. You can reach us by voicemail at 817-435-2938. Think of it as your audio letter to the editor, 817-435-2938. This coming Saturday, September 13th, is National Bald is Beautiful Day. Whether you've got a polished dome by choice or by genetics, Saturday is the day to let your scalp shine with pride. Forget bad hair days. Bald folks save money on shampoo. They never get tangled in a hairbrush, and they don't have to worry about hat hair. Some of the most iconic stars, think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Patrick Stewart, the Dalai Lama, or even Sinead O'Connor, prove that a smooth head can be a strong statement. So this coming Saturday, 3 cheers to you or your bald friends. Buff up that beautiful shine, and remember, hair doesn't define style. Confidence does.
Coming up after the break, we turn the page to the features section.
I'm Angel Biasatti, and today we're diving into the important topic for families, technology and screen time. And we'll talk about it on Methodist Mansfield News to Know.
We will talk with a school district executive in this week's 40 Under 40.
In this week's Cocktail of the Week, if a fashion show and a garden party had a baby, this cocktail would be the Flower Girl.
We are Mansfield's only source for news, talk, and information. I'm Colleen Daniel, and this is About Mansfield.
This portion of the news was brought to you by El Primo's, where the locals go.
Hey there, it's Luke from Cool Hand Electric. Are you tired of dealing with plugs or lights that just won't cooperate? Well, don't fret. Give us a call. Worried about power outages or surges damaging your precious electronics? We've got you covered. Whether it's a whole house generator or surge protection, our solution-oriented Cool Hands are ready to tailor the perfect option that suits your needs and budget. At Cool Hand Electric, excellence is still cool.
Cool hand, cool hand, cool hand, where excellence is feel cool.
At Methodist Mansfield Medical Center, we've been caring for our home team for over 15 years. Today, you'll find award-winning physicians on the medical staff, advanced neurosurgery, a level 3 trauma center, critical care for newborns, and comprehensive orthopedic care. Methodist Mansfield, delivering the care our friends, neighbors, and home team depend on. That's community, and why so many people trust Methodist.
Congratulations to our latest trivia winner, Carol Cooper, who knew that a stay-bolt is a type of metal fastener used primarily in steam boilers or other high-temperature pressure vessels. In 1860, city founders Ralph Mann and Julian Field built the first steam-powered mill in Mansfield. Inside the mill was a boiler powered by a small, crucial component, the stay-bolt, a modest yet vital piece that kept the energy contained and cohesive, kind of like this podcast. When we come back, this week's trivia question. I'm Colleen Daniel, and this is About Mansfield.
Hi, this is Joe Jenkins with Joe Jenkins Farmers Insurance, specializing in auto, home, commercial, and life insurance. I was born and raised here in Mansfield, Texas. We're active in the community, and Mansfield's a town we really care about. Our office has over 30 years' experience in the insurance industry, and we're passionate about what we do and about customer service. For a free quote, please visit our website at joejenkinsinsurance.com or give us a call at 817-472-6058. Once again, that website is joejenkinsinsurance.com.
It is time right here, right now, for the highly coveted, wildly popular About Mansfield Trivia Question. If you are the first person to email the correct answer to trivia@aboutmansfield.com, you will receive a $25 gift card to a Mansfield restaurant of your choice. It's brought to you by Joe Jenkins Insurance. Whether you're looking for homeowners, auto, commercial, or any other type of insurance, Joe has helped Mansfield area residents understand the insurance coverage that best fit their needs since 2010. You can find him on the internet at joejenkinsinsurance.com. Colleen, it's your turn.
Well, Steve, the city of Mansfield has been called a lot of names over the years, but only one has been officially recognized by the state of Texas. Today's trivia question is, when was Mansfield first named the official pickle capital of Texas? Email your answer to trivia@aboutmansfield.com. Again, in what year was Mansfield first named the official pickle capital of Texas? Good luck, and thanks to Joe Jenkins Insurance for the gift card.
Hi there, my name's Angela Thorne with Moses Movement, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to About Mansfield, your audio newspaper. Let's open up the features section. Angel Biasatti is here with tips on balancing a child's technology and screen time in Methodist Mansfield News to Know. Angel?
Today, we're diving into the important topic for families as the school year kicks off. Technology and screen time, finding balance. With more classes, homework, and social time happening online, it's easy for kids, and adults too, to spend way too much time in front of screens. But too much screen time can impact our sleep, focus, and even our mood. So how can families strike a healthy balance? Here to help us unpack this is Nancy George Cuddy, a triple board certified physician in obesity medicine, lifestyle, and family medicine on staff at Methodist Mansfield Medical Center. Welcome, Nancy.
Thanks, Angel. It's great to be here. Balancing screen time really comes down to creating clear, consistent routines and encouraging other activities that promote healthy development.
What are some practical tips parents can use?
Well, first off, you want to set specific screen time limits. So according to the American Academy of Family Practice and the American Academy of Pediatrics, there are set screen time limits. So for preschoolers, that's the age of 2 to 5 years old, you want to limit screen time to 1 hour per day of high-quality programs. Now, older children and teens, the American Academy of Pediatrics doesn't really give specific hour limits for this age group, but you want to encourage healthy habits and balanced media use.
What are some practical tips parents can use?
There are plenty. Many devices have built-in parental controls, and some apps can monitor and limit screen times. But the most powerful tool is still open conversation, checking in regularly on how your child feels about their screen use. I also encourage engaging in co-viewing and co-playing to help children understand, apply what they see on their screens, and being mindful of the content that's being accessed and choosing age-appropriate and educational material.
That's such a key point. As the school year starts, finding that healthy balance with technology helps kids succeed academically and emotionally. Consider setting those screen time rules this week and get the whole family involved. I'm Angel Biasatti reporting for About Mansfield podcast.
The Mansfield Business Alliance has recently released their list of 40 under 40. Now, these are 40 people who are all under the age of 40 who have been recognized as the next generation of leaders. They are CEOs, they are entrepreneurs, they are executives, they are everyday people, just like you and me. And in the studio today, we have one of those 40 under 40. She is the Director of Community Relations for the Mansfield ISD, where she leads the district's Partners in Education program with a background as a classroom teacher and a passion for connecting schools with the community. She brings both insight and energy to her role. She's known for building strong relationships, managing impactful outreach programs, and turning local support into student success. We welcome Katie Flowers. Welcome to About Mansfield.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And congratulations on being a 40 under 40.
Thank you.
What does that mean to you?
You know, I grew up in Mansfield, and so to be one of the future leaders of Mansfield was not something I think I thought of whenever I was 15 years old going to Mansfield High. Oh. But now it's kind of surreal, and I really enjoy the community and love working in it.
So you went to Mansfield High, but then you left. Because my crack research team says that you were a teacher. We call it way out west.
Yes.
Alito and
Mineral Wells. Yes.
That's definitely way out west. And so, what did you feel that when you were growing up that you were going to be a leader? Is this something that you strive to be, or you just kind of fell into it?
I didn't know that my teaching career would lead me to where I am now, but I do have a background in communications, and so just really merging the two worlds of being in the classroom and in communications kind of came together. So when I got the opportunity to move back to Mansfield, I was like, absolutely, my parents live here, everybody lives here, and so I'm happy to be back.
During your career, so whether it was as the community relations director or as a teacher, what is the one moment where you felt, wow, I really made an impact? Well, like, wow, that was really cool.
I look at my time as a teacher. Of course, you make a daily impact on those students' lives. And so the one thing that I wanted whenever I was leaving the classroom was to make sure, am I still making an impact on these students' lives? And so we run a Partners in Education program where I get to pair up students with mentors in our community that help make a difference in their lives. And so it's really impactful and really rewarding for me.
How long were you a teacher?
I was a teacher for four years, yeah.
Okay. And what grade level did you teach?
I always taught fifth grade.
Fifth grade. So are you still in touch with any of your students and watching them grow?
I am, and I actually received a call like a month ago from a former student, and she's updating me on making the cheer team and things like that. And so it's really cool to know that I at least made some sort of impact there.
Let's talk about your family life because you're a busy executive. Maintaining work-life balance, is that difficult for you?
Sometimes it can be because we've got our busy seasons. Spring and the school district is always a busy time. But now that we're in summer, it's I get more time off to spend with my kid and my family. My family lives right down the road from me, and so really enjoy spending time with them.
But that's also one of the challenges is that you, even though school's out, your workload's probably less, but you are also working throughout the summer.
Yes.
Because MISD is a 12-month business.
Yes, yeah. So I work all 12 months of the year. Of course, we get the great breaks, and we have a week off coming up, and Fridays off during the summer and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
So there are pros to working for a school district, even if you're in the central office.
In your daily routine as the community director, community relations director, what's your biggest challenge?
Overall, with Mansfield, working in a school district is hard because you're regulated to a certain extent on what you can do through legislation, through all sorts of things. It's not like your typical corporate job. And so at the end of the day, we have to look at, are we making a difference for students? We have to put students first.
Mm-hmm.
And so you always have to constantly ask yourself that question every time you make a decision. And so that can be hard because what you think you want versus what is actually best for students can be a hard thing to determine.
Are you dictated by the voters then on what the voters are interested in, what the community is interested in? Do you get peer pressure from the community?
No, not so much. I think this community is really supportive and incredible when it comes to recognizing public education being great for kids, especially Mansfield ISD. We're one of the greatest school districts, in my personal, totally unbiased opinion, in DFW. And so I think we have a great, I work in the community with a lot of business owners and work on partnerships with them, and they're all very supportive of what we do and try to make an impact.
If you were to go back in time to 10-year-old Katie, and if you could meet face-to-face 10-year-old Katie, what advice would you give her, knowing what you know now? Mm-hmm. What advice would you give her?
Oh, that's a tough one. Follow your dreams, keep at it, and know you're not going to be a medical doctor. I went to college pre-med, and obviously I'm not a medical doctor. So,
but that's okay, because in some countries, teachers are held in higher regard than doctors and lawyers. Mm-hmm. And actually, those are some of the countries that have the best educational systems in the world. And so it's okay to not be a doctor.
Yeah, and it's okay to change your mind as well. So,
yeah. How many times have you changed your mind in your career path?
Not too many. I started out in communications, which is what I'm doing now. Mm-hmm. When COVID hit, that's whenever I kind of switched careers into teaching. And so after I kind of merged those two worlds together. And so I've always worked in some sort of educational setting, though.
As a 40 under 40, we've been doing a lot of these interviews. I always like to open up the mic at the end to give you the opportunity to give any shout outs, any thanks, any words of advice, any words of wisdom. And if you want to take a look at the camera right there and speak directly to anyone who's out there watching, the mic is yours.
All right. Thanks. Of course, I want to give a shout out, of course, to my family, because without my family, I wouldn't be in Mansfield without their support. And so I also want to give a shout out to the team that I work with. We've got a team of about 8 of us that work in the communications and marketing department at Mansfield ISD, and they are just incredible supporters. I've had a lot of mentors along the way, predecessors that have come before me and really taught me and to hone in my skills and things like that to get me to where I am. And so I'm just incredibly grateful. And of course, last but not least, I want to thank my son and my future daughter that I'm about to give birth to in the next few weeks, because without them, I do everything for them. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations on 40 under 40.
Thank you.
This is Katie Flowers, Director of Community Relations for the Mansfield Independent School District. We know that is MISD. That is 40 under 40. And Katie, again, congratulations. And we'll see you in the community.
All right. Thank you.
Shaken or stirred, you know it's going to be good as Brian Certain serves up a drink with floral and fruit-forward charm in this week's Cocktail of the Week. Brian?
Today's drink is inspired by the catwalks of Paris and the rooftops of Manhattan. It's the kind of cocktail that makes you feel just a little taller, a little cooler, and definitely more photogenic. The Runway Rosé is a sparkling spritz with floral and fruit-forward charm, perfect for warm September evenings or a brunch that accidentally turns into dinner. How are we going to make this? First, 3 ounces of a good sparkling rosé, a half ounce of elderflower liqueur like Saint Germain, 2 to 3 fresh strawberries, a 1/4 ounce of fresh lemon juice, and optional, you can do an edible flower or a strawberry slice for garnish. How do we make this cocktail? First, take the strawberries and muddle them gently in the bottom of a shaker. Add the elderflower liqueur and the lemon juice with ice and shake lightly. Strain into a coupe or flute. Then top with 3 ounces of a chilled sparkling rosé. Now, here's where you can garnish with an edible flower or a small strawberry slice because, well, you deserve it. The result is light, floral, and just sweet enough. It's a cocktail that whispers, not shouts. The elderflower adds elegance, the lemon keeps it fresh, and the rosé, well, it keeps it fabulous. Little trivia. Rosé's popularity exploded in the 2010s, but the wine itself dates back to the 6th century BC in ancient Greece. The French gave it a reputation boost, but Instagram gave it a spotlight. Today, it's more than just a wine, it's a lifestyle. And now, after today, it's a cocktail too. But as always, I'm open to hear your take and your input. You can reach me at brian@bourbongospel.com. And until next week, as Mark Twain said, too much of anything is bad, but too much whiskey is barely enough. Reporting for the About Mansfield podcast, I'm Brian Certain.
We're back in 60 seconds with Steve's interview with North Texas SC General Manager Matt Denny.
Imagine a city where innovation knows no bounds, where dreams take flight, and the future unfolds before your very eyes. Welcome to Mansfield, a beacon of growth and a testament to vision. In the heart of Mansfield, a remarkable transformation is underway. But it's not just about the physical landscape. It's about the spirit that drives us forward. A spirit of collaboration that bridges cultures, a spirit of entrepreneurship that fuels prosperity, and a spirit of community that binds us as one. Mansfield is more than just a place. It's a canvas where diversity paints the picture of progress. From art festivals that ignite creativity to tech hubs that redefine boundaries, this city celebrates every voice, every passion. Mansfield, where growth knows no limits and the vision is limitless. Brought to you by the unstoppable spirit of the Mansfield Economic Development Corporation.
Hi, I'm Bernie McCraney, assistant to the city manager, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to another segment of About Mansfield. I'm Steve Casillo as we make the transition from news to talk. And in the studio today, we're talking football because, you know, it's fall. The temperatures are about to go a little lower, and summer is behind us, and everybody is in football season. Oh, wait. We're not talking American football. We're talking European football. In the studio today, he is the general manager and vice president of North Texas SC, also known as North Texas Soccer Club. Matt Denny, welcome to About Mansfield.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We are talking football.
Yes, sir.
But not American football.
Yeah, I get confused myself sometimes now.
Well, because you've been in the United States now, how long?
I think last year was a year that signified me being in the States longer than I'd been in England. So it was a milestone moment where you crossed the number there.
You've been in America longer than you were in England.
Yeah, I think 21 years now.
So that makes you're in your 40s. You're a young.
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay. Unfortunately, you're from Nottingham, England.
Yes. Which
has now the big league, the big soccer league is the Premier League. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
And Nottingham has 2 teams.
Correct. Yeah. So there's Nottingham Forest, who are an amazing historic club, won European championships, and I don't support that team. I support the team that's. If you go down 1, 2, 3 divisions, the Notts County is the team that I grew up supporting. So, historic team. They were founded in 1862, so there's a lot of history. But they're struggling down in the lower leagues right now.
Do you think that tradition? You mentioned 1862 is when this team was founded. Do you think that soccer Americans seem to have a tough time grasping soccer right now? Do you think because in England it is so deeply rooted in tradition that
absolutely
we're getting there?
Yeah. It's just it takes time, and it's in the DNA of in Europe. It's even South America, you see it, and there's competing sports here, but we're starting to see the next generation come through of families where the parents have played and they can share those moments with their kids. Before it's like, historically, you go to baseball, you go to football. That's what the dad wants to take their son to, or share those moments with. We're getting to that generation where you can go to a soccer game and the parents know the sport, the kids play in the sport, and it's just a bit more of a together feeling. It's experiencing a moment. When I go to a basketball game or a football game, I don't really know what's going on. I can enjoy the sport. But I don't follow it the same as I do a soccer game. And I think we're getting to that tipping point now where we're seeing the next generation of families where, as I say, the parents have played or been a fan of the sport.
I'm still trying to figure out hockey. So it's and offsides and icing. But I think offsides in hockey is very similar to offsides in soccer.
Yeah, I wouldn't know about hockey. So I don't know.
Well, I don't know. You grew up playing soccer, I would assume.
Yeah. I think I was at university when my friends nicknamed me Footballitis because I just was always playing, and I just love the sport. And that's where, there was a point in time where it's playing is in the back burner, but you still want to be around the sport, and it's something I'm obviously very passionate about. But I just love day to day being, going over to talk football and talk soccer, and it'd be part of my life. So, did you play professionally? No, I played semi-professionally. So when I talked about Notts County being in the fourth tier, I was like fifth tier, and at a bubble at best. I was young and immature, and I went more towards the coaching side once I finished playing. I had a few injuries. I tore my hamstring, and there was a point where I'm like, okay, I'll turn into coaching, and I did coaching for a long time. I was director of a soccer club in Chicago, just about 20 miles west of Chicago, and had some great times there, and really, really loved it. But I was in the office all day, coaching in the evenings. The weekends would be tournaments, and started long-term looking at, when I have kids, is that what I want to be doing when I'm 40 years old? When you're 40. So... When you're 40, you're still a young man. I don't feel it. You don't feel it. I mentioned someone just came by the office 10 minutes before you arrived, and they wished me a belated happy birthday. Yeah. And she said, well, she actually asked, how old are you? And I had her guess. Oh, wow. She guessed 14 years younger than my actual age. That's a win. And so, I said, exactly. That's how old I am, because that's how I feel. It's all a number. You've been here in the United States half of your life. What are some of the cultural differences between living in England versus living in the United States? There's cultural differences even within the United States. Like I've worked in Providence, Southern California, obviously Chicago and Texas, and there's even cultural differences here. But absolutely, it's hard because I think a lot of people want to say, hey, what's the differences? But you could be in England and be in the north of England. It's completely different to the south of England. But what I will say is the kind of reoccurring theme is how genuine American people are and hardworking and just, that's what I've experienced. But I've been around, some great places. Is that to say that Brits are not genuine people? Or well, it's there's that old joke where everyone's like, "Have a great day," and in England they're like, "Why are you asking me that?" Or why are you saying that? So it's just a bit more reserved. Okay, stereotypically. Okay. And is coaching what brought you to the States? Yeah. So when I was at high school, I had a bout of tryouts, and I think I was 15 or 16. I had a tryout at Leeds United, which is a Premier League team now. And I knew at 16, I remember telling my parents, this is kind of my last shot. Kids in England, they get taken out of school at 8 years old, and they're in a system, right? And so I was at a high school or an academy system, and part of the system was the coach made us take coaching licenses, referee licenses, learning about the sport as a whole, and taking a holistic approach. It'll help you on the field. So that's where I really got the first taste of coaching. Really enjoyed it. And when I was at university, every summer I got like 3 months vacation, and I would come over to America and coach during the summer. So it was a great experience, and just had a great time for 3 months, and then saw a lot of the United States and a lot of the big cities, but also the small towns, and it was just a great experience.
Your first coaching job was it in Chicago or where?
Providence.
Oh, in Providence,
yeah,
Rhode Island.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And you mentioned Southern California. Where did you?
I was based out of San Diego, but I would go and be assigned different regions every couple of weeks, and I got just great experiences. I got to work on Edwards Air Force Base where they test fighter jets. And I was coaching, and suddenly a sonic boom would go off, and just great stories.
Occasionally, the space shuttle would land at Edwards. If it couldn't land,
is that right?
Fog or whatever prevented landing in Florida, they would land at Edwards.
Yeah.
And in San Diego, was it with the San Diego Sockers?
No, it was a company that came out and sent English coaches out each summer. And
gotcha. I ask because it's my hometown.
Oh, yeah. I was just there a couple of 3 weeks ago.
And I was a huge fan of the San Diego Sockers. Both they had an indoor and they had an outdoor team.
Yeah.
Have you ever played indoor?
Yeah, a lot.
It's very
different
fast.
Game.
Very
different
fast.
Game, yeah. Yep.
And high scoring. Maybe that's where, because that's what I hear from Americans a lot. Oh, it was only a 1-0 game. Indoor soccer, you may have 10-5 or
Sure.
it's a very high scoring game, very fast paced, and it's hockey played with a ball.
Yeah.
And what are the primary responsibilities of a general manager?
I think it varies within each organization, but for me, I oversee everything to do with the club, and I wear a lot of hats, but I oversee the team side, the business side, and everything in between. So I joke, I spin a lot of plates and I try and make sure they don't all fall down. And but I have a lot of support. We're part of the FC Dallas organization and that ecosystem. So we have a lot of support from all the departments there, and we work really closely to make sure we're aligned and not just on an island.
You mentioned FC Dallas. Would this North Texas SC, would that be the equivalent, say, in baseball where you've got a major league and a minor league team?
Yes.
And so you've got players that are going back and forth between the two systems?
Exactly. So we had a game this weekend. We had, in our starting 11, there was 6 FC Dallas contracted players in the starting 11. So every game, there's players can come down from the first team. We have our own signed and contracted players for North Texas, but we have the ability to pull players down that need minutes, and we have the ability also to bring our top academy talent up. And without them losing college eligibility. And so we have a role. We're in the middle of a larger ecosystem of soccer with FC Dallas.
So help me out there. You mentioned college hours and that. What is that?
Well, just we're a professional soccer team.
Right.
So if there's an academy player that's showing really well and we want to get them into our environment, we can sign them on an amateur contract, and that way they don't lose college eligibility if they want to go to college. We had a player just recently, he was on an amateur contract and he had a full ride to go to Harvard, which obviously that's a great opportunity.
Sure.
And he was trying to decide that balance between going pro, full ride to Harvard, what's the best fit. And, we've had other players that sign pro contracts straight away because they just know that's where they want to go. But it gives us that ability to keep that window open for them.
And so when you're playing in college, you cannot be a professional player.
Correct.
Are you involved then as a general manager with player acquisition?
Yes. Yeah. So we have a whole scouting network, a scouting department. We have a head scout here, but we also have scouts all around the globe that work for us. We have a technical director and a sporting director. And we work closely with them to identify talent. And the whole premise is we're identifying talent we think projects to the first team. So that's our mission when we sign players and bring them in.
Yeah.
They're who we project to go to FC Dallas. And we've had a great history of signing players from North Texas to FC Dallas and some really good success stories.
What's the youngest player that's ever played for either FC Dallas or North Texas SC?
Oof, I think 15 was the youngest.
15?
Yes.
And so still in high school.
So our first signing was Ricardo Pepe at 15. Just an amazing talent. He played his first game for us, and bear in mind he's playing, at the time it was USL League One, and they're 28, 29-year-old guys. First game he scored a hat trick, and this is the great thing about North Texas is we have, young players. We have players from college through the draft. We have international players we sign and bring in. But I still have people to this day tell me they were at that game when Ricardo Pepi scored a hat-trick. And now he's off in Europe, one of the best strikers in the world. He's probably going to be in the World Cup team for USA this World Cup. So it's just amazing to see where they start and where they go. And I compare it to people when they say, I saw Michael Jordan play when he was at high school. That's what we're trying to create, is these top talents, and people get to see them on the ground floor when they're trying to prove themselves and make their mark. It's really exciting to see these young players.
You mentioned World Cup. You brought it up, so let's go there. How does the World Cup in Dallas affect FC Dallas or North Texas SC as a small hometown club, and the big boys are coming to town?
So it is the biggest sporting event in the world, and the amount of eyes that are going to be on soccer is a tipping point for soccer around the world. But to be here in America, here in Dallas, it's just a tipping point where I think it's one of those things you look back on and you think, what were the key moments that made soccer in America what it is? This is going to be one of them. The fandom's already here. Mm-hmm. You go to any school now, and there's probably equal amount of kids wearing soccer jerseys to school as there is football, basketball, anything like that. The fandom's here, and this is going to bring it to the forefront. And obviously, Mansfield Stadium is going to be, it's in the shortlist for a base camp for a World Cup team, and we feel really confident we'll get a World Cup team use that world-class facility as a training site.
You look at the amount of people who show up to, say, the Cotton Bowl for a Mexico versus somebody,
mm-hmm.
and it's sold out. And it's now obviously you've been to an FC Dallas game because you work for them, but I was a guest at an FC Dallas game a couple of months ago, and just the noise that adds to the excitement. You've got a drum band off to your right, and flags are flying, and it's an experience. There's more to it than just the game. And the same thing happens when, on a larger scale, of you're seeing your nation's flags fly, and there's just this chanting and singing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've never been to a Mexico game, but from what I've seen on videos, it just sounds like a really exciting thing to go. And I can't wait to go see a World Cup game.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be, a spectacle. And I think it's going to be one of the best World Cups ever. I still remember to this day, USA 94, that World Cup, and being a young kid. And it was one of my favorites to see the spectacle that United States put on, and they made it a show. It's going to be amazing. And the cool thing for here in Mansfield is I think that the city can really get behind not only USA, but the team that's going to be training here. It's going to be really cool to adopt that team. And whatever team it is, we'll find out in January. But whatever team it is, they can really get behind and just have that little connection that will help you enjoy the experience and be the hometown team, but they're from another country.
If Mansfield Stadium was chosen to be a host stadium for a World Cup team, which World Cup team would you like to see train there?
England.
Of course.
all day. I would love that. It's what every young kid, the dream is to play for England and win the World Cup. That's just, it's the equivalent of winning the Super Bowl, what people dream of here, I guess.
Oh, sure. You've been in America, again, half the amount of time of your life.
Yep.
And are you here for good?
Oh, absolutely. I love it here. I wouldn't go back. I've got 3 young kids, and I just enjoy being in America. I've definitely adopted the country. I appreciate my roots, and I always love going back. But I think you look back with fond memories, and it's not quite what I remember it.
Yeah. I asked that because my notes say you became a U.S. citizen in May of 2022.
Correct, yeah.
So I guess you are here for good.
I am. Well, I've got the option,
Is it dual citizenship or you are?
Essentially, yes.
Okay,
yeah,
so you have 2 passports?
Yes. Yep.
Which one do you use when you go back to England?
Well, it doesn't make a difference anymore. It's all electronic when you go in.
Oh, of course.
So it's it really, and since England is not part of the EU anymore, it's not really any benefit. But the cool thing with doing my citizenship is, coincidentally, we had a player that we signed at open tryouts, and the story is just incredible. His name's Bernard Kumungo, and he was born in a refugee camp in Tanzania, sent to Abilene, Texas when he was 14, I believe. Came to open tryouts. It was $100. He got his brother said, go do it. You're a good player. He was playing high school at the time.
Yeah.
He said, don't waste your money. We can't afford it. Drove to open tryouts. We really liked him. Invited him to a preseason. It ended up signing for us. Within, I think, 12 months, he was signed for the first team for FC Dallas. We helped him get his citizenship. And when he got the letter, he showed me the letter. And I said, this is just like the one I have. And we got to do it on the same day. So it was a cool story.
Oh, wow.
And not only that, he became a U.S. citizenship, and shortly after got called up to the U.S. Olympic soccer team. And shortly after that, he got called up to the U.S. national team. So from a space of a couple of years, he's gone from, playing high school soccer, sent from Tanzania to playing for the U.S. national team. It's a crazy story.
That's a great story. That really is. You probably have to deal with not only different nationalities, but different languages.
Yeah, we do. So we've got a good coaching staff, and we've got staff that speak different languages and find that middle ground. And then we also have English classes for the players we bring over that don't speak English or don't speak great English. We have English classes for them so they can learn and be accustomed to living in America. But we have players that speak French and coaches that speak French and Spanish, and we have a lot of Brazilians in the club. So it's great for the players to come here, but also for our academy kids to be exposed to all of that. It's great as well.
Looking back again through doing the research on Nottingham, England, and now you're on the podcast About Mansfield. There is a Mansfield, England.
There is.
Which is only about 30 minutes away from Nottingham.
Yep. We used to play soccer against teams in Mansfield, and it was a coal mining town, so very different from Nottingham, but it's Mansfield. It's a full circle moment. I tell my friends back home, we're building a stadium in Mansfield, and they're like, that's weird. So it's very interesting. Well,
there are 18 Mansfields in the United States.
Is that right?
So you're bound to pick one of them. Piece of advice for your that you give to young professionals. Do you ever come across kids that go, I want to be a soccer general manager? Any advice to a young kid?
Yeah, I think what I typically tell people is do well in the space you're at. A lot of people want to skip steps and they want to become the general manager when they've just got out of college, right? Yeah. It's be really good at the space you're at right now, and opportunities come your way. If you're always seeking progression and opportunity, you've got to be doing well in the space you're at now. And I think that's sometimes lost on people is they try and think too far ahead. Obviously, it's great to have goals, but
in America, we call that paying your dues.
There you go. Yeah,
that my background is growing up in radio. Mm-hmm. And you have to go to the small market to make it to the medium market. Right. And the medium market is a stair step to the major market. Growing up in San Diego, we were a stair step to Los Angeles. It was like, if you can get to LA, life is good. But you got to pay your dues. It's the same thing with being a general manager. And so what's below general manager? Who's waiting in the wings to take Matt Denny's place?
I don't know right now, but hopefully it's. I always say, and I've said it in my career is opportunities to move up come, but you got to have someone also ready to fill your spot. So I'm not worried about the next person up, and hopefully it's someone that can enjoy and take advantage of opportunities. So, but right now I'm so focused on this Mansfield project, and it's such a great opportunity.
We're going to talk about the Mansfield project here shortly. And by shortly, we mean next week, you can hear the conclusion of our interview with North Texas SC General Manager Matt Denny next week. In the meantime, this is the place where you'll hear the latest Mansfield news, talk, and information. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, engage, connect, amplify, elevate, celebrate, embrace, explore, love, share, support this podcast if you haven't already so you never miss an episode. It's free and it's easy. Head on over to our website, aboutmansfield.com. Right there on the homepage, enter your email address. We will never, ever, ever send you any spam. That is my personal promise to you.
About Mansfield is recorded at Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio. Hosts Steve Casillo and Colleen Daniel. Moment with the Mayor feature, Michael Evans. Methodist Mansfield News to Know, Angel Biasatti. Cultural Arts Calendar, Tim Roberts. Cocktail of the Week, Brian Certain. Post-production editing, mixing, and mastering, Steve Casillo and Andrew Miner.
This podcast is copyrighted by Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this podcast without prior written consent is strictly prohibited. We thank you all for listening. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Steve Casillo, and this Ribbit is About Mansfield.